not in a position to be criticizing, the officials and league-wide such. That's standard protocol. We'll get fined as a result of that. So there's no intention of my point to be critical. The overall premise that I have is, to be perfectly honest with you, we should not be asking the coach after a game what they feel about officiating and what happens. You guys should really be focused on, what we didn't do well enough in the course of the game and win a hockey game. Those questions should be directed at either director of supervisor officials, supervisor series, and or the officials. You want full access, and transparency, then put the officials in front of the microphone to answer the question, because they're the only ones. Hold on, they're the only ones that have the experience to be able to handle, whatever interpretation they applied to Rule 69 in that case to answer your question. That's it. So the rest of us, we have, clearly we challenged it because of our interpretation, right? So the only ones that can answer that, don't put out a statement, just stand in front and answer the question. That's as simple as that. Yeah, we review a lot of these situations, and they'll use if you think it's wrong, then you should challenge. If you don't, realize that the call on the ice is going to stand. And again, Rule 69 is what it is, so the people that make that decision should be answering the question how they interpret it.
Well, is it difficult to battle any frustration feeling you're getting the short end of the stick as far as some of these important calls go, with the Bennett hit on Marchand really not getting called in any way, shape, or form either? That's,
Department of Player Safety needs to, make the statement on how they interpret that situation. We've seen every angle that you can possibly imagine. No different than, when Brad himself has been called to the carpet and comparables are looked at. That's their job, their responsibility to protect the players, and we have to respect that, whatever their judgment is. And it's not a source of frustration on our part. Our guys played well last night. We had a 2-0 lead. They plowed their way back into the game, and we didn't get it done. It's no different than how Toronto felt, down 3-1 to us, and how we felt last year. The fact that they gained momentum. We just have to go down and win a hockey game. Go out and execute the way we're capable, and we'll be fine.
Going back to what you said before, like either the officials, the supervisor of the supervisor of the series, these kind of people should be more accessible in these situations, because they don't usually speak, in most situations like this.
Again, a player, a coach, people, every game, they go in, and you guys go in and ask them, critical plays, good and bad. Fair?
Yep.
I don't think it's any different. If you want, as I said, if you want full access, and if you want transparency, and you want explanations, then the people that are making the decision should explain. Simple as that. For me, that's just, that's another growth in our game.
Has that been a discussion in GM meetings?
That's been brought up before, yes.
Do you have any update on Brad?
Brad skated today. He'll travel with the team. He's still day-to-day, and hopefully he continues. Guys got to give him a chance.
Any chance to talk to the league or the player safety and kind of make your case at all in those situations? Like, hey, we have this other angle, we have this other, you guys, can you look at it? Can you take a look at it? Things like that?
I mean, there's communication. You don't make a case unless there's a hearing involved. So, but there's communication. George does a good job of certainly communicating, to the best of his ability in these situations.
Would you down 3-1 heading down to Florida?
Yeah, it's disappointing to walk out of there last night knowing that you could have tied up a series, and you just got to go back and focus, on one game at a time. Clearly that's what, as I said, Toronto got a little momentum out of it. Our guys just have to recognize, as Kevin pointed out, a really good start tomorrow. Keep their crowd and their feeling like they can close things out on our side and get the job done. I know our guys are excited about, going down to play. So there's no hanging our head. There's just a refocus of really what we have to try and do to move forward. We had our opportunities last night. Coyle's in on a breakaway, had another net front look. Zach's is probably a little bit snake bitten from the standpoint of where he was regular season wise, scoring. Still makes a good forecheck on Carlo's goal. So again, it's going to require everybody. I mean, let's be honest. We're not going to focus on one or two players in these situations. The entire group has to dig in and play to the best of their abilities.
PNC Bank, rooted in communities big and small.